Welcome to Final Fantasy XIV, and welcome to EORZEA. You have an incredible journey ahead of you through this rich, vast land, and there's so much good here with the story and the characters and the music, but you know what? Starting off is a little bit overwhelming. So here at the Sprouts Garden, I'm here to help you. So let's get you through your very first day in EORZEA. I'm going to cover the first 15 levels of the game, as well as a bit of character creation. Something I hear all the time from new players is, does my race matter? Does my birthday matter? How am I trusted deity? And the answer to all those is, nope, not at all, not really. Choose whatever the heck interests you, whether it's cosmetically or thematically. The only thing you should be aware of is that your choice of starting city is based on your initial class, but this doesn't really matter long term. All three cities have different story to them, but they all converge to level 15. Final Fantasy XIV has really robust options for modifying user interface and control scheme, more so than some of the other games out there like World of Warcraft, which requires user interface mods. I will say an in-depth look is really out of the scope of this guide, but at a bare minimum, I would recommend trying out both standard and legacy movement schemes, and adjust your hotbars, bind keys to your liking, that sort of thing. I think for players who are new to the MMO genre, a legacy is easier to work with. I myself prefer standard as it functions like most MMOs I've played in my life. Once you get into town, there's a few things you want to look for. First and foremost is a big blue ether crystal. It's a huge rotating crystal somewhere in the center of town. These are basically the heart of every city. A couple important things of it, you can set it as your home, a favorite destination, or a free destination if you're using two-factor authentication. These are really important because they can save you a lot of money when you teleport back to places. The second are smaller blue ether crystals that look basically the same as the first one, but really small. These let you teleport around town, and once you collect all of them, you can teleport straight out of town. These are super essential for saving a lot of time. Imagine instead of hiking all across town, you can just teleport around. The third and last thing is that you're going to see a lot of little quests scattered everywhere. These aren't super important, but what they do for you is they show you around town where important guilds are, stores, things like that. So in addition to quests I mentioned earlier, there's a few others to be aware of. The first ones you saw are side quests. These are not mission critical. These just have bonus items, experience, skill. They're handy to have at low levels especially, but once you get a few levels under your belt, the main scenario will really carry the rest of the way. The other two are the fireball icon, which is the main scenario. This is your main storyline. And the second are the blue cues with a plus sign on them. And what these do is they usually unlock a new piece of content. Maybe it's glamours or dies, maybe it's a new class. There's so many things here. So if you see those, don't pass them up. There's a lot of good stuff behind them. So you went out of town, you did your first class quest, and you turn in, you're gonna unlock the hunting log, which you can access with the H key by default. Hunting log really isn't that important anymore, but it is some free extra experience while leveling up, and a lot of the enemies in the log will overlap with targets for other quests anyway. If you do manage to finish the entire log for one class, you'll get a ring for that class. The item is largely outdated, so it's mostly for sake of collection, so I wouldn't worry too much about it. Later on, when you get your Grand Company, you'll also get logs for those as well, which give you some bonus currency. So out and about in the world, you're gonna come across big encounters called fates, and these are public battles you can join in for bonus experience. Early on, they're a great way to get some extra experience, extra levels, but really don't feel like you have to go out your way for them. They are worth doing if you're running by anyway. Later on, you're gonna also get Grand Company seals, cosmetic items, and other goodies from them. Later on, I'm gonna do a video that covers all those, so if you're a big collector, go ahead and look for that video in the future. Every 5 levels, you're gonna get a new class or job quest, which you should complete, by the way. These give you gear, mention new abilities. In addition to that, once you get the level 10 job quest done, you're gonna get the ability to visit other guilds and learn the professions too. Crafting and other combat classes. Unlike other MMOs, you can do everything and anything you want with one character. You don't have to make alts. With that said, I would generally recommend focusing on one class at the time being and play through the entire story, but don't be shy about picking them up and trying them. You might find one you really like. So these are kind of like a forgotten gem to me. I mentioned earlier trying to save money with Aetherytes. Another option is the Chocobo Porter. At level 10, you can start unlocking locations where you can ride a Chocobo back and forth. These are a fraction of the price of taking the Aetherite teleports. If you play World of Warcraft, they're kind of like taking a flight path. Yeah, it takes some time, but it can save you a lot of money. So if you're feeling tight on money, hop on a Chocobo, take a bathroom break, get a drink or stretch. Around level 9 or 10, or once you get some story missions done, you're gonna get the option to unlock Levequests. These are really quick, repeatable missions that can offer you some experience to kill, with the catch that you can only do a limited amount per day. You do stack up those allowances though, and you can hold up to 100, so you can stockpile them. Levequests are a great way to give a low level class a bump so you can get into dungeons level instead. More importantly, they're commonly used to help level gatherers to craft professions rapidly. I wouldn't call these critical to the game, but they're definitely worth unlocking and keeping in mind. Once you get the initial unlock done for Levequests, you'll also get the option of doing Guildhests. These are quick, 4-man missions that last a few minutes and are worth a bit of experience, and really they're intended more as a teaching mechanic than anything else. And to be honest, they're not really worth your time these days. They do at least give bonus XP the first time you clear them on any job, and I do think it's worth running through all of them at least once. They're worth it for the learning experience if nothing else. At the moment you hit level 15, I highly recommend you go straight to the smith, and you can find him in the inn of any major city. As soon as you're 15, you have access to everything he has to offer. He's gonna run you through a bunch of short duties that teach you the basics of your role. You're gonna get a set of armor that is equivalent to gear in the first 3 dungeons, but more importantly, you'll get a rating that boosts experience from killing monsters by 30%. And you keep in mind that any content that sinks your level 2 or below the required level will give you that bonus, and it's stacked. This next trick isn't quite as important as it used to be, but whether you start in Limsa or just coming here for the first time from other cities, you'll want to keep this in mind. Later in the game, it's going to ask you to go to the Waking Sands in Vesper Bay, and the game does these days provide tickets to do this, but if you run out of them, this boat can provide you a quick, cheap way to get to access to Vesper Bay. Additionally, you can use it early on to get the quests for Dye and Glamour Systems if you want to. And speaking of Dye or Glamour, the game offers robust ways to customize your character. You're able to dye various pieces of gear, as denoted by the small circle in the upper right of an item's icon, and you can also go even further beyond that and completely change the appearance of the gear you're wearing to something else, as long as you can equip it. And some would say, honestly, the true endgame of Final Fantasy XIV is fashion after all. In any case, you can unlock these systems level 15 by popping over to Vesper Bay and talking to this lady right here. Heading on back to Limsa, the game is going to direct you to Baderon and the Drowning Wench for a quest titled Colossi. The moment you turn this quest in, you're going to unlock a few more right behind you. Rising the Challenge is going to unlock challenge log for you, which is a set of weekly challenges that provide bonus experience to guild. These are so valuable long term, so don't miss out. They scale really well with levels. Beauty is only a scalp deep will unlock the Aesthetician, who will change your hair and other details for a small fee. And you know, some parts of your character you require Fantasia from the shop, but for a quick haircut, it's only a little bit of gil. Last but not least, at level 15, you're gonna get the ability to pick up a quest in Ul'dah titled It Could Happen to You. This is on the strip right near the large Aetheryte, and this super short quest gives you access to the Gold Saucer, which is absolutely jam-packed with fun and mini games, as well as the legendary Triple Triad. If you need a great place to lose hours your day, this is it right here. And I'm not gonna really go into in-depth the Gold Saucer right now, because there's way too much to talk about, but I definitely will in the future. I hope I was able to make your first day in EORZEA a little bit easier, and if I was able to help you, please consider giving the video a like and subscribing to me, or sharing with another player who could use the assistance too. There's plenty more to come. If you have any feedback, or if you'd like to request a guide on something in particular, please leave a comment below. I'll be happy to read them.